Good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen Tomcko, and I'm the manager of 211 Northern Region with the Lakehead Social Planning Council. So thank you for inviting me here today, and I'm going to speak to you about the types of food programs and an information referral service called 211. So before I start, I just want to point out that it's important to note that there are many, many different type of food supports that are available in communities across Ontario and in Thunder Bay, and information does change very, very quickly. So today I'm not going to cover all possible types of service providers or even all the possible types of food access supports that are available. But I will tell you about a service that will help you when you do need to find them. And that service is 211, and I'll talk a little bit about 211 a little later on. So let's start with food banks. So food banks or emergency food cupboards are services that provide free food to people in need. They all kind of operate a little slightly differently. Um, some are open 1 or 2 days a month. Some in some communities are only open once a month. So their hours do vary. Some food banks do provide a prepackaged hamper to individuals that need assistance, while others operate more of like a grocery shopping style where they have aisles of food set up and individuals can come in and choose the items that they need. Food banks do tend to heavily rely on volunteers and donations. So the items that they have available to provide to individuals in need varies. And it can vary, from week to week or month to month, depending when they're open. But they really do their best to accommodate everyone. Some food banks do require you to register before attending. And in Thunder Bay, you can call 211 to register with a food bank that's in your area. So free and low cost meals are services that are usually offered either on a daily or weekly basis, and they provide more of a meal or snack to people in need. These types of services are usually offered on a drop-in basis, so you don't need to register before attending. When they're open or offering that meal, you can just come on and help yourself. Some of the meals are held in more of a communal setting, so like maybe more like a cafeteria style. And some of these meals or lunches are prepared for individuals to take elsewhere to eat. That could be like a packaged brown bag kind of lunch, paper bag lunch. It could be from a soup van or a meal truck that goes out into the community to serve people in need. So there are just different kinds of, free or low cost meals that are available. And the same as food banks. A lot of these services do rely heavily on donations and volunteers to operate. So the variety or what they are offering can vary from day to day. Home delivered meals. These are services that are not free. They are usually offered on a fee for service basis, so meaning there is a cost to access them, so you pay for every meal. Registration is often required for these types of services, and they often have very specific eligibility criteria, meaning it's not quite open to anyone. For example, a lot of these types of programs are really only geared toward individuals who are homebound, who are not able to get out or cook or feed themselves. These types of programs are very good at accommodating a variety of dietary needs. And, from what I've heard speaking with different individuals who've had them from different communities, more often than not, one meal is often enough to have 1 or 2 meals out, just depending how hungry you are and how much you eat on a regular basis. So they do provide you with ample food, and they're great programs for those that aren't able to get out into the community. So congregate dining or social dining are programs or services that are really aimed to sort of bring people together who are at risk of isolation. And it brings people together so they can socialize, enjoy a meal together, and meet new people and enjoy other people's company. Especially through COVID, we've had a lot of individuals who have been isolated in their homes, And now that these types of services are starting to resume again, I'm sure everyone is enjoying getting out and speaking to others. These programs also, in addition to providing like a hot meal or a beverage, they usually also try to coordinate some sort of activities. It could be a social activity, it could be presentations from community groups or new programs or services. Some of them, do games. They may have cribbage after the meal is over. So they do kind of really promote that socializing with other individuals while offering a meal. These types of services, some of them do require registration beforehand, and they really are a great way to get out and meet new people. So fresh food and gardening, there are a lot of different types of services and programs out there that touch on either fresh food or gardening. Some of the more common ones, though, are programs like the Good Food Box. This is a really great service. They are a community-based fruit and vegetable distribution program, and what they really help those with limited resources, but they are open to anyone, so anyone can purchase them. And it really helps individuals purchase fresh foods at a reduced cost. So these boxes, if I can remember correctly, in Thunder Bay, I think they're around $22. And from what I remember, the last time I personally purchased a box, there's way more than $22 worth of produce in there. So you definitely do get more than what you pay for. The boxes often include fun things like recipes. So if there's a particular fruit or vegetable in there, they will include recipes for how you can cook it, handling instructions for that particular fruit or vegetable. And it's just a really great way to get a lower cost fruits and vegetables. Food boxes are usually available once a month. And the great thing about them is that they can be purchased all 12 months of the year. And community gardens are a great way to grow your own fresh produce. So community gardens are usually like green spaces that are allotted for the public to grow plants, fruits, vegetables. They're usually in neighborhoods, so they're neighborhood gardens where people come together and grow this food collectively. Not all of them operate the same. Some you can purchase individual or not purchase. You can have your own little plot allocated to you. Just depends on the community group that's organizing them. But they're a great way to garden if you don't want to maintain one yourself at home, or even if you don't have the space at home. So, maybe you're in an apartment building looking for participating in a community garden activity or initiative is a great way for you to get out and still garden without having the space at your own home. So oftentimes through these types of programs, they often have equipment there on site for you to use to help and maintain the garden. Sort of everything you need is there on site for you. So again, it is a great way for you individuals to grow their own fruits and vegetables. Some of these programs in different communities, even Thunder Bay, some of them may offer seeds or even other related gardening items that come through. Gleaning and U-Pick programs, these are fun programs to participate in. Of course, they usually are held near the end of summer as produce becomes ready to pick from crops. So they often offer a free program, obviously, and you can sign up to participate in this activity. And when farmers have crops that are open or available to pick, they open it up to the public and they open it through these gleaning programs. So once you register and a gleaning plot or activity becomes available, they will give you a call back and let what farm is open, what produce or fresh fruits or vegetables are available for picking. And if you're interested, they'll let you know where to go, and you show up on that date and time and get on a bus with your bag to pick your produce and head out to a local farm, pick all the produce you want, and bring it home with you at the end of the day. So it's a great way to get out as well. It's a good afternoon out. And you can come home with some really great fresh produce. I know here in Thunder Bay, they've gone out to places like Baloo's Farms and picked there, and heard wonderful things about this program through callers who are looking for it every spring. Then there's also additional programs and services in many communities, um, either offered through food strategy type groups or even public libraries, where they have lending libraries. So you can actually rent or borrow different gardening supplies and tools. So if you want to start your own garden at home, you can go in and borrow this equipment from the library and use it and return it just as you would like a library book. So there are different programs out there really to help and support community members around growing their own fresh fruits and vegetables. The next food program to speak to are what's called like community kitchens. Sometimes I've heard them referred to as collective cooking, but these are really programs where individuals will plan and cook healthy meals together, and they either eat the meal together or divide it up and take a portion of what they cooked home. So again, these are great programs, and a lot of them may have different themes. I've seen some done where a particular food group theme where they focus maybe on, say, healthy eating if you've recently or you have diabetes. So they'll do like diabetes community kitchens where it's all about eating right. And maintaining blood sugar. So they're often tied in with different health initiatives. That involve healthy eating, which are all of them. So there's a lot of variety. They pop up. It's not like there are agencies may not have this every Wednesday. There's a community kitchen. Some do, some don't. But they do kind of pop up and disappear throughout the year. So if that's something you're interested, you can look more into that. As I mentioned, though, at the beginning of the presentation, information does change quickly. And like these community kitchens, sometimes they're on this month, but not next month. So I wasn't able to include all the programs and services that specifically offer these types of food access supports in Thunder Bay. Um, we really could speak a few days on all of the programs and services that are available. But I did say I would share with you and speak to a program that will be able to help you find these services when you need them. So, for example, if you're wanting to know more about community kitchens in your area or when, ones may be coming up, you can reach out to 211 and a specialist will work with you to help find one coming up in your area. So 211. 211 is an information and referral service, and we connect people to services, making accessing public services easier. When you connect with 211, you will speak with a community resource specialist, and they will learn more about, what it is you need help with in your situation. And then they'll search and find community services in your area that will be able to help you with those needs that you've expressed. So when needed, sometimes we will offer to follow up with individuals. And when we follow up with them, it's really just to make sure that that person, is doing all right. They were able to connect with the services that they needed. Did any other needs come up in the meantime that we can help find services for them? It's really just to check in to make sure they're getting connected to the services they need. And on times and when appropriate, we may also advocate on their behalf. So we may reach out to an agency, a program or service, and say, we have this individual, they're looking for this type of service. We think you can help them. I have their permission to share their information. Can we get this person connected? So we are able to offer that little bit of additional help and support in connecting people to community services. So 211 is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So anytime you need help, you can reach out and connect and speak with someone at 211. 211 is a multilingual service, and it can be accessed by either dialing 211 from your telephone. It's a 3-digit phone number. If you text, you can text the 3-digit phone number 211. Or you can come online and chat and visit our website at 211ontario.ca and connect that way. If you want to email us, you can email us at gethelp@211ontario.ca, or you can search independently using our online database of human services. So 211s, we are very highly standardized, and we do adhere to a set of standards that have been developed by the Alliance of Information and Referral Systems. So AIRS is our accrediting body, and they measure our compliance and set the expected best practices within our field of information and referral. So they're also the ones who are responsible for our professional designations. I did mention that our teams are highly trained and they are often certified. And what that means is they've gone through an evaluation process and written an exam and been approved by AIRS to have this professional designation. So when you connect or call or reach out to 211, you're going to speak to a certified community resource specialist. And when you're looking online at our database, you're knowing that this database is managed and maintained by certified database curators. So these are individuals who are trained on looking for and managing human services information. So 211 Northern Region is administered by the Lakehead Social Planning Council here in Thunder Bay, Ontario. And recently on February 11th, we celebrated our 15th year of operation. So this service launched in Thunder Bay in 2008. 211 is available anywhere in Canada. It is also available anywhere in Ontario. And for those who may be traveling or watching this video from outside of Canada or in the United States, take a look, pick up the phone, try dialing 211 because there are a lot of different 211s also across the United States of America. So for those of us in Thunder Bay, Minnesota is very close to us. We often travel to Minnesota for various things. We have a lot of snowbirds who go down to the southern states for warmth. So those that are here know that when you're in those places and if you do run into trouble and you need help, reach out and try 211 because they will be able to let you know what's near you in that community that will be able to help and support you. So those that may want to know more about what food agencies or services are available in Thunder Bay, I do encourage you to reach out and call 211 and the specialist will be able to locate them. And if you don't want to reach out either by calling, texting, or chatting or emailing, there are the options of using our online database of human services. So 211north.ca is a regional database, meaning it has human service, social service information for what we call Northern Ontario. And we have also a provincial database at 211ontario.ca, and this will include all the social services information for all of Ontario. So we feed our data into that provincial database as well. And the data you see on our website is also the same information that our resource specialists use to help find and locate services for people in their community. As I mentioned before, the database is managed by database curators who aim to update all of our listings at least once a year. And we do maintain a variety of information on the government, community, health, and social services, but do want to point out we don't maintain information on commercial businesses. And if you're seeing on the screen, you notice I have a little asterisk beside that point. And that's just really to reflect that there always are some exceptions to the rules. And we do list some commercial businesses that have contracts with government to provide some subsidized services. And these are really mostly in the sector of healthcare. And an example of that would be a lot of home healthcare service providers. A lot of them are commercial businesses, but they do work and help provide lower cost services to individuals through home and community care. So to finish, and before we end, I would just like to show you a short 4-minute video on how 211 does help Ontario communities. This video is a few years old. Some information around number of providers in Ontario has changed, but the overall general messaging does remain the same. So I'm going to go ahead.
How does 211 help Ontario communities? With more than 55,000 nonprofits and charities operating in Ontario and a growing demand for programs and services to support people living in communities, It's hard for people to know where to turn for help when they need it. 211 plays a key role in helping people understand and navigate the system of health and social supports that can help them thrive. 211 is an award-winning, free, confidential helpline and online search portal that refers people to health, social, government, and community-based programs 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Every year, 211 centers answer more than 500,000 calls from residents and organizations across the province looking for help for clients, themselves, or loved ones. 211 brings together the most comprehensive collection of human services information in the province. Local agencies collect data about services available in their communities and feed that information into a single provincial database. The public can search for services through 211ontario.ca web portal, and that same data is used by professional information and referral specialists to answer calls, make referrals, and report on caller needs and demographics. 211 services adhere to the Alliance of Information and Referral Systems standards, which means 211 is on par with the best information and referral organizations in North America. In certain cases, 211 specialists will ask permission to follow up with callers to make sure that they were able to connect with the referrals provided, ensuring that people do not fall through the cracks. Information about caller needs is collected on 211 calls and is shared back with communities to better target programs and investments to where those needs exist. Many people and organizations play a role in the 211 system in Ontario. All calls to 211 are answered at one of our 7 fully accredited call centers, and data is collected and managed by more than 30 data partners across the province. Ontario 211 Services is the coordinating body responsible for ensuring provincial standards for service delivery are met, developing and overseeing system infrastructure, and marketing the 211 service to Ontario residents. United Ways plays a significant role in promoting the 211 service. As a founding partner, United Ways also understand the value of the resource and caller data produced by 211, and use this information to inform local funding and planning decisions. Frontline workers rely on 211 to provide up-to-date information when it's needed on health and social services that can help their patients, clients, or residents. 211 partners with hundreds of social service and government agencies in Ontario to improve access to information about the programs available to meet specific needs. So, how does 211 help communities? For frontline workers and emergency responders, 211 provides a channel for authoritative information to the public regarding services and supports, freeing up their time to focus on their core services. For government planners and other decision makers, 211 provides rich data about caller and user needs that helps to inform their investment and policy decisions, which in turn helps people. Finally, for individuals and agencies looking for help, 211 is the easy-to-remember resource they can count on any time of the day or night. Because life is 24/7, and so is 211. This is how 211 helps Ontario communities.
Thank you for having me here today.